Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Modern Warfare. Wait a second. This isn't Modern Warfare 3 in depth at all. This is a gameplay commentary, but Drifter doesn't do gameplay commentaries. Has he been replaced by an evil alien Cylon imposter bent on world domination? No, it's just been a very, very long time since I've done a gameplay commentary. Been a long time since I've had a topic that I wanted to talk about or gameplay that I felt like was worth sharing. This is, again, an Akimbo Skorpion gameplay. It's better than the last Akimbo Skorpion gameplay that you're going to see, and you're actually going to see clips from that at the end of this one that I recorded with the Roxio Game Cap, because this was supposed to be my promo vid with Machinima for the Roxio Game Cap, but they felt that I didn't stick to the let's say, required script enough. They had a checklist of things that I had to talk about. I even had to talk about, hey, it comes with cables. I didn't talk about the cables, so that was no good. And that kind of leads into the topic of this video, which is how to get famous on YouTube, how to be successful, how to make money, and that sort of thing. And what you guys need to know is that when creative and corporate interests collide, or creative and financial interests collide, they are both damned to fail. It is the exception and not the rule that I would fain to call myself an artist, because that's not true. I would say content creator, video maker maybe. But when anybody that has a job that is academic, that is artistic, that is creative, or requires some sort of non-linear thinking, when you put money in there as the motivator, the quality of work plummets. When you have a job that's like, do X, get Y, people do a lot of X, they get a lot of Y. Sorry, I'm coughing, I'm a little bit tired again. I'm completely bushed, I haven't slept in 2 days, so the commentary here is going to be a lot less structured than normal. I'm literally hallucinating at this point. The whole screen is kind of spinning for me, and I'm trying to keep up here. But I'm trying to get back on topic really bad. That if you only do YouTube to just make money, to gain a bunch of subscribers, to get tons of video views and get internet famous, then you are damned to fail from the start. I see people send me videos all the time asking for, how can I use this to get more subscribers? Will this increase my CPM? Why am I not making more money? It's mostly the subscribers. How do I get subs and views? And I tell them every single time that you're going about this all wrong. If all you want is money, go get a job. If all you want to be is just famous or something, then you need to be the person you need to be a news broadcaster or a journalist or some very, very public figure, and not just making videos here on YouTube, because that's just not going to happen. I'm getting close to 90-something thousand subscribers now, and a lot of people say that's a big channel. I really don't think that's anything at all, and they go on this assumption that that when you get a certain amount of subscribers that your life changes and you become an internet celebrity and that everything opens up for you, and that's not true. I don't just go to Chick-fil-A and people are like, oh my god, it's Drifter, I saw him on the internet, here's these free chicken nuggets. Or I go out on the town with my wife and I'm like, oh, dude, Drifter's at the party, oh my god, let's get him up to the VIP room. Interestingly enough, the dishwasher repairman did recognize Ozzy from the internet yesterday and gave him a pet, but did not recognize me, even though I was in the same fucking videos. But that's how that goes. And if your motivation is that, then you're going to fail, because all you're going to do is rehash the same content that you've seen other people do. I can't tell you how many times somebody's asked me how to grow their channel, and I told them you need to do something completely new, something completely unique that nobody has ever done before. And the answer they give me is, I'm gonna do a Road to Commander using only the USP pistol. Nobody has ever done that before. Yeah, they've done that before. Or they'll ask me the same question, and I'll tell them you need to do something that nobody else has done before, something that's really enjoyable, and they'll be like, I'm gonna do an in-depth gun review series, a map breakdown. I'm gonna make montages, and I keep telling there's so much of that. Why would somebody care if you're doing yet another montage, yet another Road to Commander, or something like that? And of course they just never listen to me, and they do it anyway, and it fails miserably, and then you have another Hopog HD PVR up on eBay because somebody's all butthurt about it. But the people that do well, the people up at the tippy top, the people that are still here, that don't quit, are people that just enjoy the content that they're making. I enjoy making the stuff that I make. I love Akimbo Skorpions. I think that's fun. I like making videos. I think that's fun. I didn't join YouTube. I started making videos on YouTube before there was any money involved. I joined Machinima not knowing that there was any money involved. I just wanted a wider audience to talk to or share stories with, because I was doing proper Machinima at the time, like Halo Machinima, and all I really gave a damn about is sharing stories and making videos that people found entertaining. As a corollary to that, like, oh god, whew, too much spinning. As a corollary to that, the more people that subscribe, the more people that watch, the more, you could say, followers I got. I like that because I could share the video and the content with more people, but that wasn't really the goal. It was just that more people could see it and you make more people happy, and a lot of my content's the same way. All the people at the top do the exact same thing. That being said, if there wasn't money involved, I wouldn't be cranking out in-depth episodes as frequently as I do, which hasn't been too frequently recently because of final exams, and I'm not going to just make in-depth episodes during final exams when I'm studying for a dozen other things and not sleeping, because the quality of the in-depth episodes will plummet, the gameplay quality will plummet, and the thing that really worries me is that I'll have mistakes in those episodes, so I don't want to do that. But I would still make in-depth episodes. I made in-depth episodes before there was really much money at all involved into it, and I did it because I liked educating people. I thought that that was a good thing. I tell stories like some of you have seen the Epic Dream series. If you haven't seen that, that's linked down in the description. It's like a 5 or 6 hour narrative by me, just a story that I told that I enjoyed telling. If you want to check it out, episode 1 starts out really slow. It's like 30-40 minutes long, but that's all the build-up to episodes 2 and 3, which really take off and go places. If you haven't seen that, just trust me on it. Invest an hour and a half of your time like it's a TV show and enjoy it. And that's what makes me happy, is when I get a message in my inbox saying, Drifter, I watched this content. I loved it. It was the most entertaining thing. Or I had a 9-hour flight across the Atlantic Ocean, but thank God I had my wireless phone or iPad with me, and I could watch this stuff all the way, and it kept me entertained. And that's the reason I make these videos. The montages that I make them because that's how I like to see montages, and I get slammed for that. Every time I make a montage, I lose hundreds of subscribers because I don't have quick scopes in there. I don't have 360 throwing knives and stuff like that, but the honest answer is I don't really give a damn. I make the content that I like to make, and I don't really care that much what you guys have to say about it. That being said, there must be some consideration for the audience. The first machinima group I worked with was called Triad Films, and one of the leaders was like a 14-year-old kid that had some sort of weird obsession with clowns and compromising sexual situations. And no matter how many times I tried to tell him that that was not a good thing, that the audience isn't going to take to that, he always responded with like, whatever, I just make these videos for myself. I just make these videos for myself. And I just lashed into him like, you can't just do that, because the audience isn't just going to get it, and that's true. So I'm giving you counter advice to my advice. You have to make videos for yourself that you enjoy, but there has to be some consideration for the audience. You just can't pump random junk out there and expect them to love it no matter what. Some things are going to be risky, like obviously Jesus. He speaks his opinion whether you want to hear it or not. A lot of people don't want to hear it and they hate him. Some people do want to hear it and they love him, and that's just kind of how it goes. Same thing goes with any other commentator. For example, I'm going to use another guy like Pwn Star for Hire. Pwn Star for Hire is a pretty good channel following going on. He plays the games that he wants to play. He was big into Call of Duty. All of his subscribers were Call of Duty. He just like, you know what? I don't like this game anymore. It's not fun. This isn't me. I'm going to swap to Battlefield. And when he did, his channel took like an ass pounding. But he says, that's too bad. If you don't like me, or if you only want Call of Duty, you're just going to have to go somewhere else because I'm going to do Battlefield. And he stuck with his guns. He kept doing what he said he was going to do, which is play Battlefield. And it worked out for him in the long run. And he's one of those guys that's just going to do and say whatever it is that he wants to do and wants to say. That's not always a good thing, but at least it's the honest thing. Or, I think I'm kind of running out of examples here because I didn't actually expect this gameplay to go on that long. I always forget how long 12 minutes is to just sit here and talk to people, especially when I don't have a list of things written down or I don't know what I'm supposed to talk about. But the other thing I wanted to talk to you about again is that promotions are coming on this channel. Machinima wants me to do a Roxio game capture promotion video, which I'm going to do. The Gamma Labs PTF stuff is going to be starting soon because I want to be a Gamma gamer, because there's a lot of really nice perks and benefits to that. And the motivations here are, let's be honest, they're selfish motivations, and maybe not so selfish motivations, because I'm doing most of this for my wife. The reason that I made If It Were Realistic, the reason that I made as many of them as I did, as quickly as I did, I took them on weekly last time. Last winter I was making 4 videos a week for the Machinima Network, was for her so that we could afford to pay for our wedding, and lo and behold, when the wedding came around, all that money did come in and we could afford to pay for it. And I'm kind of in the same boat here with If It Were Realistic, though I've got the quality control taken care of because they're all made ahead of time. And but the promotions are again for her because I want her to quit her job. She works med-surg nursing at nights in a hospital that pays probably 30 to 35% less than what the national average is. they're critically understaffed on med-surg nurses, so all the nurses are asked to work overtime every single week. I mean, they're all working like 60 to 80 hours of overtime a week, and they're not getting paid a whole lot for it. She has to watch, if you don't know what med-surg is, that's old people, that's diabetes, that's bed sores, that's chronic cancer, any sort of chronic long-term care patient, or I don't think they do much post-surgery, but they get a little bit of that. Is where you go to med-surg, and that's the hardest floor to work on. That's the one that has the highest burnout rate. That's the one where you have to watch your patients wither away and die and suffer, and they have families that call in. They're like, yeah, can you keep him alive until next Tuesday, because that's when his Social Security check comes in, and we want to cash that before he dies. This is the kind of stuff that she has to deal with every day, you know, watching people, old people. The families refuse to let the 90-year-old man with cancer die, so they have a resuscitation order on, and of course he stops breathing, so they get like 8 paramedics come in there and crack his ribs and crunch his internal organs trying to resuscitate him and make a big damn mess of the body. And this is every single night for low pay, overtime hours. And I told her to quit. I told her to quit. I want her to quit. I want her to enjoy her youth. I want her to be able to sleep at night. I want her to smile again. But we don't have the money for that, and my promise for her is I would find a way to pull videos out of my ass, to pull projects out of my ass, to get sponsored by companies so that she could quit, so that she could enjoy her life. And that is the main reason I'm picking up as many sponsorships as I'm about to pick up and increase the workload. Thank God that summer is coming, and I'm actually going to have the time to do this, because if you haven't noticed, the video uploads have trickled off a bit lately now that school's picked up. I think I'm going in circles here again, man. Well, anyway, I hope that you enjoyed the commentary. As soon as this is done rendering, I'm probably going to... I would like to say I'm going to sleep, but I'm going to coma. I'm going to pass out for about 15 hours. And one side note, I also discovered that Battlestar Galactica is an amazing TV show, but there's like 70-something hours of content, so that, you know, some of my time may or may not be going to Battlestar Galactica. Anyway, Drifter out.